Philosophy. Yes, let's get some unity back and a reality check to the cult groupies who are attacking and watching y'all like reality TV. This is a real movement that has destroyed people's lives, not entertainment. Oh yeah.
And Aaron, and I'm not here to be like, oh, you're like an angel. And you've said this yourself. I mean, you know, you've done things that are probably hurtful and bad and wrong, but it's like, okay, you openly admit it and you say that. So what do people expect? I mean, are we supposed to flagellate ourselves and whip ourselves a million times and ask for forgiveness and beat ourselves up? You know what I mean? It's like when I screw up, I admit it, and I think you have, and I can tell that it bothers you when people are upset with you, and if you know that you've hurt someone, I could tell that it hurts you. I know it does. You've made that obvious. So
yeah, for sure. I think when the switch flips for me is like it's kind of what I referenced earlier. I am fiercely loyal and protective and defensive of my friends. And if you attack me or my friends, I don't really have any sympathy or compassion or whatever. And maybe that's a weakness. I don't know. I guess I tend to feel like it's a strength. Maybe some would feel like it's a weakness. And the thing is, like, if I think you're a friend and you become the other, it's like that's what I mentioned before. I wish we could all deal with it in private. If someone I thought was a friend contacted me privately and said, I'm fucking devastated about what you just did, I would make that right. If you do a video about it, you're fucking dead to me. And whether that's right or wrong, it doesn't have to be right or wrong. It doesn't have to be right or wrong or good or bad. It's how I am. And that's what happened with Nora. Is I spent an hour on the phone with her one night. Unfortunately, she doesn't remember it. We were supposed to talk the next day. And before we had a chance to talk, she's doing a fucking video about me. That was 5 months ago. So, but you're right. Like, if a friend of mine feels hurt by me, that means a lot to me. That hurts me, and I will do anything to make it better. And anyway, I just wanted to say that.
no, I mean, I can tell that about you. And Nora is obviously very hurt. Again, you know, and I don't want to speak on her behalf. And Nora, if you're watching this, I do. I love you, and I've always admired you. Nora, you know, and I know she's not your favorite person right now, but what people don't understand is Nora was the first gay person to publicly kind of come out and talk about the Scientology abuse against, you know, the homosexual community. And I grew up with it. Scientology they do not like gay people. So for her to do that at the time that she did, I mean, it's very admirable, and she's always going to have my respect. I don't necessarily like, you know, the public dispute thing with you guys. Yeah, I wish it could tone down a little bit, but I can't boss you two around and tell you that that's how it has to be, you know? I hope
I
someday
have a proposal to make it all better. We meet in LA. We inflate a kiddie pool on L. Ron Hubbard Way. We cover ourselves head to toe in baby oil, and we wrestle in a bunch of Jello, and we work it. We solve it. We just winner. We wrestle. We wrestle to settle it all. We settle it all, and we live stream it as a fundraiser for the SPTV Foundation. If you guys are in favor of that idea, put a 1 in the chat right now.
I did watch, like, because I love Liz Gale. I do. And this is, you know what, I'm going to tell you one thing about you know what, the SPTV Foundation, you have helped me. I've asked you, and I want to say thank you very much. You helped me when I needed it. And so your foundation is not a joke. It's really there to help people that are victims of Scientology that need any type of assistance whatsoever. I can vouch for that. So when this began, the whole SPTV Foundation, I'm going to just tell you why. I never put the logo up. It's not because I didn't support you all. My logic was, I just knew, I'm like, man, everyone's putting this logo up and it's a bunch of second gens. I just knew. I'm like, someone's gonna get mad at each other. Someone's gonna get mad at someone, and it's gonna blow up. And honestly, Aaron, I didn't think it was gonna be you, but I just, I just, I really just knew. I'm like, someone's gonna get mad, and because everyone has this logo, then they're gonna have to be like, oh, I have to pledge allegiance to either
Mm,
the SPTV thing or this, and I just didn't want to get involved. Just did not want to be put in that predicament of having to choose sides when, like I said, I consider all of you my friends. Um, because, and I'm not trying to be like, oh my God, I didn't have any Scientology friends, but I really didn't. And in your all of your friendships are very valuable to me.
yeah.
Um, but if I made a video saying why I think SPTV is not a good idea, you would have been pissed off at me for one.
Oh, hell yeah.
You would have been like, what the
Of
fuck?
course. I've been like,
So I'm like,
I've been like, I knew Marisa was a bitch. I knew the whole time.
I'm just keeping my mouth shut, and eventually someone's going to get mad at each other, and there's going to be this divide. It sucks though, because I like, wow, if I could have said this openly, but I mean, I know I know how the politics go around this stuff.
It's
So
true. It's true.
it's I just figured I'm gonna just take the path of the least resistance. And I know, and I know a lot of you have a lot of background history together, again, like you and Nora, stems back decades. I can't, I don't know, that's why I don't get involved in it. I can't dictate to either of you how to handle each other, but I do like both of you, and I admire both of you and what you've contributed to the anti-Scientology movement.
Yeah.
And I feel like I should be able to say that without being vilified and being looked at as like, you're taking Aaron's side. Or but there's equally a lot of people that are going to say you're taking Nora's side. So either way, I'm fucked.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
I'm
the
screwed.
truth is, if I'm speaking from a place of, calmness and not just anger, I would, I think I've said, I'll never make up with Nora. I'll never make up with Nora. What I'm not going to do is bend the knee and genuflect and be forced to apologize to all sectors of society that Nora feels I owe apologies to, like she tried to get Mitch Brisker to do. Like, if Nora just wants to squash it and talk again, like, I'm happy to do that. I'm happy to do that. But when Nora says, I won't talk to him in private because I don't trust him, I'll only talk to him in public and on my channel, it's like, well, you might as well just say we're never going to talk again, because that's the last fucking thing I'm ever going to do. Is like, Nora wants it to be a public crucifixion, and it's like, Nora, I don't owe you anything. I need nothing from you. I've got no reason to come and beg for your forgiveness. But if you want to meet in the middle, the truth is, it shouldn't be done in public. It should just be done in private. And so I guess what I'm saying is, if I'm just being calm and rational, of course I want a world where me and Nora just talk in private. And even if we scream at each other, it's in private. And we squash it so that we can get back to focusing on what really matters, which is, educating the world that Scientology is a family destroying human trafficking cult, because that's what I'm here for. I know a lot of the community eventually, I don't even mean to insult anybody here. A lot of viewers want drama because drama sells, and not just on YouTube, not just in this community, but on TV, the Real Housewives bullshit. Like, come on, we're all human. We like to watch the train wreck, but I'm not here to be part of a train wreck. Do you know what I mean? And I don't want the members of this community to be part of a train wreck. And let's be honest, that's kind of what it's become in the last 12 fucking months. It's become a goddamn train wreck. And I would
Well,
like to make up with Nora, but it's not going to happen in public. It's going to happen in private. And maybe after it happens in private, we can have a public conversation. That's okay. But that's the sequence it's going to happen in, and not the reverse.
well, I hope you guys are able to do that. I know I would if it was a friend of mine for 30 years. It might take maybe a year for me to kind of realize, like, oh, okay, yeah, let me reconcile with my friend that pissed me off. Because it's when you're mad, you're mad. And it's something I can't tell Nora, hey, stop being mad at Aaron. She's not going to listen to me. If I tell you, like, no, none of us are going to listen. And it's not just us, it's people in general, when we give advice to each other, relationship advice, whatever, we have to learn the hard way, and we have to determine on our own terms when that time is right. So I hope she does that, because I think you and her, when you were collaborating and doing things together, it was, it was nice. And then when you had your blowout, it really did. It
Yeah.
surprised me. It caught me off
Yeah.
guard. Was not expecting that at all.
Yeah.
And I can't say who's right or wrong. I don't, in my mind, I don't think neither of you are wrong. You both probably have valid reasons to be mad at each other. I would like you both to get along someday, but I just, you
I would
know,
too. I mean, I would too. I would too. Aside from the personal reasons, which are probably the most important reasons, it's like, when several people have pointed out on their own channels that the only people celebrating right now are Scientology. And it's like, I would love to be able, because guys, it's been a hard year. It's been a hard year. I would love to be able to show Scientology, hey, do you see what we can do out here in the free world? We can go at each other's throats for a year, and we can still be big enough to get back together, make it all right, bury the hatchet, mend the fences, and say we're ready to go to concentrate fully on fucking you, Scientology, instead of each other. Like, hey, I know you thought you were going to get us to tear it down, but you failed. You failed. We were able to get our own shit together enough to make it good enough to be able to focus our full energy and attention right on you, you sons of bitches, particularly you, Dave. You, Dave. Like, it would honestly, it would be so, I feel like it would bring the entire community back together. And I mean the viewership community as well, in stronger than ever before. And it is honestly what I hope would eventually happen, even though I've kind of said some stuff recently that I would never do it. Like that's what I say when I'm angry.
Okay, if you want to see my rock and roll songs, click right on this guitar. And if you want to see a different one of my videos, oh, Auntie Mama Love, then you could click right inside here. If you have subscribed or not, subscribe right here. Bye.